How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Pixelated Pat, and I'm back with another episode of our Pokemon Gaia Hardcore Nuzlocke. We've got a spicy battle on the agenda today over in the gym at Sail City, but before we can do that, we gotta make it across Gyarados Bridge. As you can tell by the sprite animations over on the side of the screen, we have made the decision to abandon our starter for the second gym in a row due to the fact that it's just not a good idea to bring a fire-type Pokemon like Infernape into a water-type gym. Luckily, we still have our boy Sword to serve as a starter for this episode, which we are definitely going to need once you see what we're up against in our date with the gym leader Marina at the Sail City gym. One thing's for sure, we've got a lot of type battles coming up, so make sure to stick around if you don't want to miss out on all the fun. That being said, I'm glad we did not lose Elisa there. I decided to keep her in against Dig because I figured that not only could she take it, but she would OHKO Durant the next turn, and while that didn't turn out to be the case with Durant needing 2 flame charges to take out, I'm just glad that we didn't lose our only electric type Pokemon before the water type gym. I can't even begin to tell you how devastated I would have been if that were the case, especially because of how careful and thoughtful I was when making our selections for the team we'd be using against the 7th gym. The last thing I want to do is scramble mid-footage for another Pokemon, especially due to the fact that I had a bit of a strategy going in, and I'm glad we were able to avoid that. And speaking of close calls, we have another one right here that I'm glad we were able to avoid with our new friend Behem, who you can see has already evolved after catching him as an LGM in the last episode and grinding him up to the rest of the team is. I couldn't be happier to have such an incredible Pokemon capable of the coverage that Rock Friend is, and I definitely don't want to risk losing him before we have a chance to figure out what he's really made of. I feel like he has a lot of potential to become a force to be reckoned with between his awesome coverage and status as a special type attacker, so you can bet that he'll be getting a lot of chances to shine now that we're this deep into the run. One thing's for sure, we're going to need a Pokemon like him moving forward. Anyways, before we hit the gym, I want to talk a little bit more about our team heading into it. I decided to bring along 2 Pokemon capable of Mega Evolution this time around because I figured either of them could work against the gym leader's ace, which is going to be a Water and Dark type Mega Gyarados. Mega Ataria can deal with it nicely due to its access to Magic Shine, and Venusaur is just a powerhouse in general with or without Mega Evolution. While Venusaur is the best choice in this scenario, it always helps to have options because you never know what's going to happen. Next, we selected Rizzy Azumarill, who has to serve the role as a surfer and diver this episode, but can also work against the gym leader's ace with his powerful play rough. One thing's for sure, I'll be hitting the move leader and relearner after the gym so that way I can put Rock Smash and Aqua Tail back on him because surf and dive are not optimal for his power set. After that, we have Elisa the Zebstrika, who's equipped with choice specs to boost Thunderbolt. Even though she's a brave nature, which boosts her physical attack, I figured I could do more damage that way. And after that, we have Braviary, who I decided to bring along over a secondary grass type because I feel like he does really well in neutral situations with sheer force buffing attacks like Shadow Claw and Slash. And finally, that leads us to Behem, who I already mentioned before is going to be an incredibly valuable asset moving forward due to being a special coverage attacker. I think of JJK every time I see it because I can't help but to think you are my special every time he succeeds in battle. And granted, all the Pokemon I capture and raise are special to me, but Behem is quite literally my special attacker. And as always on this channel, the cringy puns are fully intended. Sometimes I wondered where my love for cringy puns came from, but then I remembered how much my sense of humor was shaped by Jesse and James in the anime. Come to think of it, that's not the only way that Pokemon shaped me growing up. Whether it was Team Rocket shaping my sense of humor, Ash shaping my love for battles, or Brock shaping the way I approach women, Pokemon went a long way to make me who I am today. Go Pokemon. Or is it Pokemon Go? I don't know, I'm too old for that shit, unless you can Nuzlocke Go. Jokes aside, I can never actually get that much into Pokemon Go. While it's not like I think it's the worst thing in the world or anything, and I did think it was kind of fun when I downloaded it for the first time, I just couldn't really get into it due to how ingrained the experience of going on a Pokemon journey was in my soul due to how much I played the mainline games. That, and I remembered seeing people that made fun of me for liking Pokemon all of a sudden claimed they were Pokemon fans once Go came out because I guess it was all of a sudden cool to be a Pokemon fan, now that everybody else was doing it. Anyways, that was definitely something I thought about during the TCG boom of 2020 when people started claiming they were lifelong fans all of a sudden once they realized how much money there was in Pokemon cards. Thank you, Logan Paul. That being said, that was definitely a crazy time for Pokemon. I'd been on a social media hiatus during the time I had started collecting Pokemon cards, so it was definitely a crazy experience once I really got into it and started learning about everything that was going on with the secondhand market. Whether it was scalpers clearing out shelves at restock or all the crazy 200% profit raffles that were happening over on Instagram, that was a wild time for that side of the Pokemon hobby for sure. And if you're into TCG content, don't forget to check out Roxanne and Opossum Bud. These two are huge inspirations for my YouTube journey and are 100% worth more of your time than I am, so don't forget to check them out. Now it's time for the gym battle, so you know what that means. Cue the OST. So I start off the battle leading with Behem because I figured he was ready to make some noise in his debut, and that's exactly what he does by scoring a quick knockout with a stab and twisted spoon boosted psychic. After that, we're able to make quick work of Jellicent as well with a pair of shadow balls to the face, and did someone tell Behem that's not appropriate? Anyways, this isn't where Behem's legendary debut stops either, as he's able to score the crit of a lifetime on this Kingdra after taking a Hydro Pump to the face. And I must say, I was beyond shocked with how Behem was performing in his debut, but nowhere near as shocked as this Pelipper is about to be after we hit it with a 4x super effective Thunderbolt. While that surf we took definitely means that Behem is done for the day due to the fact that there's no point in sacrificing him after making a debut like that, I was impressed and proud of him for sure. After some deliberation between Bravier and Altaria, I decided it was time to give Altaria a shot. And as is customary for the boss battles in this half of the game, Gyarados Mega evolves right away, so we respond by doing the same with Altaria, so that way we can have a Mega Pokemon showdown. We do manage to force it into potion range with a pair of magical shines, but losing the flying type upon Mega Evolution opens us to a D-Dance boosted Earthquake, which leaves the rest of the battle on our base form Venusaur's shoulders. And after she heals up Gyarados, I hit it with Leech Seed because I realized I was going to need every bit of damage I could to make up for the huge misplay I made by not saving Mega Evolution for Venusaur. The fact that I had 3 Dragon Dances up made me sweat a little bit too, but luckily for me, Venusaur was able to narrowly survive what could have been a huge loss for the run and hit Gyarados with an Overgrow and Stab boosted Petal Dance, officially earning us our 7th badge of the run. Now I must say, I'm glad we didn't lose Venusaur there, because both he and Behem put on for the team big time in this battle, so don't forget to show them some love for their incredible performances, because that was one hell of a battle. Anyways, we are fast approaching the end of the video, so I just want to take a moment to thank all of you absolute legends who've been taking the time out of your day to check out the channel. I'm having a lot of fun with this run, and I couldn't be happier that I get to share all these moments with all of you. Anyways, that's all I got for you today, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Pixelated Pat, signing off.